What's going on, YouTube family? Today we are here to review this 2023 Bentley Bentayga Rgir. As we always do, we will start under the hood. This particular one is the twin turbocharged V8 that has 548 horsepower with 567 pound-feet of torque. As you can see from the front, this is the blinged out one with the chrome plated grille. You have two sensors in the front and a forward camera that's located inconspicuously inside of the grille. The engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission that has a top speed of 180 miles an hour. 0 to 60 is 4.4 seconds. It has one of the most beautiful parts of this vehicle are the headlights. If you look at the details that they have in the headlights, it just looks like crystals and diamonds. I'm quite sure when this is illuminated, it is very bright and very brilliant. Now that we're inside of the Bentley, we have it on. We're not allowed to start the vehicle, I understand. No worries. It's pretty much the same interior features that we reviewed on the Bentley Bentayga. The Bentley Flying Spur. You have your light controls here for set for auto. Let's open up the door. Take a look at the stitching in the doors. I just cannot get enough of how beautiful the stitching, the layout, everything is so smooth, symmetrical. Everything looked like it belongs there, like it wasn't an afterthought. Everything's wrapped in leather, very soft. What you see as real wood is wood. What's metal looks metal is metal. There's nothing plastic on these type of cars. So that's a great thing to have there. You have your mirror controls here. You open and close your mirrors when you turn your car on and off. You have, let me know what that is, night vision alert. Press it again. All right. So I turned on the night vision alert. There's the fog light controls. Headlights to set them up on audio. Fog lights. You have the dimmer switches most likely. So let's move on. Once again, it's soft closed doors. Anything that looks metal is real metal. No fake plastic here. Everything that's on this level. This particular car is $246,000. So let's start off with some of the features here. Going into the home screen, can you see that? We have the radio, media, navigation, phone, messages, car information, climate control, sound for your audio. We'll get to that later. Your phone app and the settings. So let's just go into the radio. Give that a quick tap. Now, because of infringement, we don't want to play too much music because we can only play like a 5-second burst of music. So let's see here. Let's go from the side to side. Is that the volume control? No. Where's the volume control? Here we go. But there's nothing playing. We're in the AM. Most of these screens are touch screens, so you can touch the screen in order to go to different sources. There are some options down here to go from radio to media to cell phone by way of doing that. So let's just go to FM. All right, so we got some music. Just trying to find another music here. Let's see Elliot. Surround system. I'm hearing speakers in just that little bit. I'm hearing speakers coming from all angles around the car here. There's speakers up here in the dash. There's your heads-up display. There's your center channel. There is your right channel. Coming down, you can see that there's speakers in each door panels in the lower half. I don't see anything in the kick panels. You have this beautiful panoramic sunroof that goes to full length of the vehicle. The headliner for this particular model is wrapped in leather. I have never seen that in person. I've heard about it, but to actually see it, I would very highly recommend that people get a leather headliner. That is just amazing. You have an analog clock. For you young kids who don't know what analog clock is, this is what it looks like. Tells the time. You can see what time it is right now. The vent controls are open and close. You can just push it close here. It close the vents off. Pull it, open it. You have your directionals here. You can go left and right, up and down to take care of all those good things right there. Well, let's get back into the features of the radio. Um, to the console. The media, obviously, if you have your phone linked to this, it'll allow you to play your Bluetooth, your Panamera, and things of that nature through your phone onto your car radio. Navigation, self-explained. You can zoom in and out. There you go. Show you this. Zoom it back. Landscape. Go back into the menus again. Your phone, obviously, once your phone is linked up, it'll show all your contact information. Connect to your messenger or messages, and I'm quite sure it's also voice activated. Looking at the steering wheel, you can see right here. Press that and it will activate your phone. Let's see if it says a command. I know nothing's linked to it, but let's see what happens. Yeah, no device. But once a device is selected, it'll properly say, "How may I help you?" And you can say, "Call mom," or whatever the case may be. Going into the car settings, let's look at the vehicle status. You can see that beautiful, beautiful picture there. We have the ride height. We can actually hit this and raise the ride height of the vehicle. The car's not running to work. Yes, it is moving very slowly, very smooth. I mean, if you don't pay attention, you won't notice that the vehicle's rising. All right, let's see what happens with the off-road feature. Wow, this is very quiet. This car is moving, but it's moving so slowly. Let's see. Wow, let's go back to normal. Oh, sorry, just go back to normal. All these cars have electronic suspensions, so it knows how to raise and lower the car based on the features that you have. When you have it in normal mode, you're doing the street mode. Obviously, you want to raise it. If you're someplace off road, I can guarantee you there won't be a solitary person that's going to take a Bentley Bentayga off road. Let's go back to Messenger. We did that. Climate controls. Let's go to this one. Now, if you look at that picture there, that is a beautiful, beautiful display about the interior of the car. Unless you look closely how it shows where the air is going to blow. If you have all the climate controls, so you can do the floor, the dash, or the windshield, and that is like a realistic display of what the display really looks like. It's a realistic view of what it looks like. That is just beautiful. All right, this here. Right here. Do all of them at once? Yes, you can. Air flows off. And then on. But the car being off the body. I stand corrected. Driver and passenger side. So if the passenger wants, they can do their own climates, change the climate to where they want it. Here's the rear climate control. Look at that. Turn that on. Separate if someone in the back wants a little bit cooler, and we'll say someone wants a little bit warmer. You have separate climate controls for front and rear passengers. That is awesome. Heck, turn off the driver's side, turn off the passenger side, let the rears. Yep, you have to do the same for the rears. All right, now that's all off. Turn back here. Sound. Obviously, this is going to be your bass and treble. I love this feature about this car. You saw this in the Bentley Flying Spur that we did, where you get surround sound, subwoofer, bass, and treble. In the past, you would just get treble, mid-range, and bass. But this one has a surround feature. So if you, right now there's nothing playing, you can kind of raise the listening type of the music. So what I mean by that is, if you think about when you go to a concert and you're sitting down and you're watching a concert, the music's in front of you, the band's in front of you at eye level, or if you're sitting right in front above you. By changing the surround on it, or I'm sorry, that's the surround. But changing this around, it will give you like you're sitting on stage and the band members are around you playing. So it gives you like an immerse sound effect as if you're sitting there on the stage listening to the band play live. That is cool. That is a cool, cool feature. Phone apps is probably same thing. Once the phone is hooked up, it'll activate that. Now we'll go into the settings and look at what you have here on the settings. Is that everything? No, there's a couple other screens. That one, two, just two screens. Look at the little dots on the bottom. Shows you how many different screens there are. One, two. Let's see. General device, daytime and everything, setup speech, home reminder, go back, display. We can turn the heads up display on that right now. We can change because during the day you might want to have it really bright. Can you see that number up there? Can you see that number 0? Let me see if I can make it brighter. You can hear the clicking, but can you see that it's brighter? And all I'm doing here, you can either take your hand and slide it back and forth, or you can press a button, increase or decrease. You hear the clicking. Wow, I don't know how bright that's showing for you guys, but that's pretty bright. This is display location, so let's turn it down. There we go. You probably can't see it because the lights above are kind of reflecting on the front windshield. But a nice piece to have. Infotainment display, same thing. We can increase the brightness of the display. Okay, I can see it. All right, there's a lot more detail. Just decrease it a lot so you can see the difference. So that's all the way down. That's all the way up. Touchscreen feedback, that's probably the oh, that's low. This is the sound. So when you touch it, you can either have house sound, sound, or middle sound. So you decide. Me, I listen to my music pretty loud, so it'd be kind of nice if I could hear something like that on the screen. Screen cleaning. Press that. Oh, so you can actually, because it's a touch display and you're going to have fingerprints on here, this feature is going to come in very handy. You hit what you just saw when it said screen cleaning. Screen goes black. You take your towel, you wipe it off, then you press and hold to turn everything back on. And the screen's back on. Nice features. Back. Navigation, self-explanatory. Go in, voice command, route criteria, and things of that nature. So if you have a navigation, you know how to work your navigation. So let's see what else we get here. Let's see. That's going to take us to navigation. That's just going to take us to phones. This here is going to be for the media. This is going to bring us back to the radio. This screen here is going to bring you back to the 3 display screens. So look, I have the radio playing on one side, navigation on the other. If you note over here, if you hit the steering wheel, if I hit over here, I have navigation, but if I hit the button view right up underneath, it changes it. So we have the miles per hour and the RPMs, but if I'm driving navigation, press the view button and it shows a little bit more of the navigation. That one can be totally separate from the navigation that's here. So this navigation will be set on the destination that you are going to. And this navigation kind of show you some of the things around you while you're driving. They both pretty much do the same thing, but just difference and having it displayed there or displayed on the screen. Hit the view button again, turn it off. See, let's display the time in the radio station. Go to the next field. Radio station that we're actually on. Hook up the phone. All right, let's see what happens when we hit the video. Show us the car, tire pressure. That's it for that one. Go to the next one. It's just a black on screen. And all I'm really doing is just going over one and hitting view, and it's changing back. All right, there's a volume control on the steering wheel. So again, we don't want to get copyright infringed, so we'll turn it down or off. You have beautiful stocks here for your turn signals, your wipers, paddle controls if you want to put it into manual mode. And you have a standard size gear selector. If you remember the Bentley Flying Spur, it was a rotating knob that had the beautiful diamond cut pattern, which you have here. This is a cell phone charger, 2 cup holders, hill descent here, different riding modes. Set it for sport mode, comfort mode, or custom. Custom is going to allow you, say, if I want to have a smoother steering, I can change the smoother steering. But if I'm driving fast, but I want to race a sporty suspension setup, you can press that button and then it do the sporty suspension setup. Your traction control leather on and off. You also have. Okay. Yep. A little storage compartment, not much, not really that deep, but it's a nice vehicle altogether. I've been sitting here inside. It's about 65, 70 degrees outside, and it's probably a good warm 76 in here. But sitting in this vehicle is very comfortable. I'm not too hot. I'm not sweaty. Let's get in the back seat and take a look at the back. Here we have the back seats with the same embossed Bentley logo on the seats there, and the diamond stitch just there. This leather, I don't know what Bentley. Oh, I do know what Bentley. Bentley don't use cow hides; they use bull hides. The reason why, with cow hides, they have stretch marks, and they have to go in and circle where not to cut because there's a stretch mark or a scratch or a scar from a cow rubbing up against a fence or whatever, whatnot. Bull hide has less stress marks, less damage because it's a bull. The leather's a little bit tougher than a cow. So even though this is a bull hide, it is very nice, very soft. I don't know if you can see me pressing on it. Very soft and very durable. So this interior should last quite a while. On the side here, lift up, pull the seats down, and it locks in place. But as you can see, it's not 100% flat. It probably has like a maybe 5 to 10 degree angle, possibly even 15. That's just information that you get with your Bentley when you buy it. So put this back up. Let's do that again. There we go. And now you can see the rear climate controls that are featured on in the back here. You go even down a little bit further. Sorry about the view. So you have the rear climate controls, the rear climate vents, and down on the bottom here, you have your USB charger for your cell phone, plus a cigarette lighter in the very middle of it. Carpet is very plush. Oh yeah, wow, that's the kind of carpet you want to have in a $236,000 car. It does have an ambient light. If you look closely here, see the ambient light that's inside the car. Whether or not that changes colors, I do not know. But let's take a look inside here. Back into the front. We probably have to go into vehicles. I love that soft door close. All right, let's go into the car. Let's see if we have. Here we go. Lights. Exterior mood lighting. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead. Can you see the light in the door? Let's turn this up. So the lights turned up all the way. Change the color to red. Change it to red. Let's go to yellow. This is the yellow. Let's go to blue. And if you look on the screen here, we can just actually take our finger and just kind of, you want to see how it's changing the light on the screen? That's how it's changing the lights inside the car. Given that we're indoors, let's look in the back seat because it's a little bit darker back there. Yeah. See how I just feel orange. All right. So that's great. I love it. You know, even though I am touching the screen, you can kind of see fingerprints here. Wipe that off. But on the screen itself, I'm barely seeing any fingerprints. I'm quite sure that would change if you're eating a cheeseburger and fries and you're touching your screen. But for right now, this is a great little piece to have here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you today. Nope, I did a video of the engine, but I think what I would do now is go out and show you the outside of the car. Let's go see the engine of the car. Because usually when I start my videos, I start from the outside of the car. Something happened with the video and it stopped. So Take a look at this. Twin turbocharged V8, 543 horsepower, 567 pound-feet of torque. I was just told by the dealership here, oh, look at the headlights. Wow, that is just amazing. I don't know how that's going to show up on the camera. Let's see if we get closer. Look at the reflection of that headlight. Look at how it just look like diamonds and jewels, and it was actually coming out pretty good. Those are probably the daytime running lights too. But anyway, I was told by the dealer here that the W12 is coming to an end. I think they have this will be the last year for the W12 because, as you know, Bentley and Rolls-Royce and a lot of other car companies are going full electric by the year 2030 or 2035. He and I both think that's a bad move for Bentley to do that, to make all of their cars electric. I say, why not bridge the two? Keep some gas, keep some electric. Um, I have to agree with the salesman that going all electric throughout the entire lineup might be a big mistake. But look at the headlights. I mean, you just can't. I'm really just blown away by that. That is just beautiful. I can only imagine what that looks like going down the street. Now, as a body man, some things I noticed, the attention to detail. If you look at underneath here, these are the clips here that you take off the side, and there's screws up on here to take off the fender. The way that they have done everything encapsulated in plastic, it is plastic, but it's done very nicely. Once again, what looks like metal is metal, so you want to keep going with that particular setup there. One of the other things I want to point out is that the attention to detail of a Bentley. If you look up underneath there, you can see that it's a high glossy and it's the same color. Take a look at your Cadillacs, you take a look at your Fords. When you open up the hood, this is not clear coated. Why is that a big thing? That shows you the attention to detail. They want their cars to look beautiful inside and out. Not only that, if you look underneath here, you have the same diamond pattern underneath the trunk liner that you have in the car. Why would you do that? You could have just left this nice and smooth, but that's what makes Bentley Bentley. The attention to detail. Those spots that people think of or don't think of, Bentley says we're going to put our quality touch on everything that you see on this car. So that's one of the reasons why you really should consider buying high-end luxury cars. The features that come with the cars, the looks of the cars, the technology, and it's only going to get even more. Everybody's like, well, what happens when this car breaks down? By the time this car breaks down, the technology and everything is going to be so normal. It'll be like, oh man, I blew a fuse in my 1986 Crown Victoria. Okay, well, hey, I blew out a headlight on this vehicle. No problem. It'll take about, because I know you have to take off the tire and the wheel liner to get access to the headlight. But it'll be normal. Right now, everybody goes, wow, you got to do all of that just to change a bulb. This is the way that the cars are going. As they would say in the Mandarin, this is the way. All right, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe and watch my other videos. Talk to you in the next one.